What's up? This is Greggatron. Hope everybody's having a good evening, and I hope you like my hoodie. Yeah, Under Armour. Alright, today's video is about this. Before I get into this, let me talk about where I found it and how this came about. I have some friends that go on a trip every year. I live in the Midwest, right? Well, one of the places they were going to go was Hannibal, Missouri. So I was like, well, I'll tag along to Hannibal, Missouri because they told me they were going to the sword shop. The sword shop, right? So it's called NobleWares. It's in Hannibal, Missouri. Let me see there. That's not. There we go, right there. That's the address right there. Check them out. Some of the stuff you can still find online, but if you live in the Midwest, anywhere in Illinois, Missouri, you can find good stuff. And they're a really good price. These people had Lord of the Rings swords. I'll talk about that in another video. I got Legolas swords. They had pirate swords. They had Gil Hibben, as you can see. They had anime swords. They had the 300 sword, King Leonidas. They had Civil War stuff. Swords, pistols, muskets, all replicas. You can't really use it as a weapon, but they had so much daggone stuff. I was like a kid in a candy store. But anyway, so I was excited. So this is the Gil Hibben Old West Bowie. Alright, the part number is GH5069. And I talked about a Gil Hibben sword in my last video. So I was already a big fan. So once I saw these, because I didn't even know these were there till like much later. But once I saw these, I was like, what? You have Gil Hibben stuff? And this is a family-owned business, by the way. And the guy was like, yep, we got us some Gil Hibben. I was like, wow. So I had to have this, baby. Alright. I just had to. So let me say this first. The only thing I don't like is the sheath. The sheath was really, really tight when I got this, right? So whenever I put the blade back in, look how beautiful that is. I'll talk about this in a minute. Whenever I put the blade back in the sheath, you kind of have to finagle it. See that? It won't just go straight in because this golden piece wants to get caught in the sheath. So you kind of have to finagle it. So I'm going to go back and ask the guys. I don't want to return the knife because I love it. But I just want to make sure this is the right sheath. Because even on the box, there's a star right there. And I looked online and there's different sheaths that fit this blade. So this kind of has to get stretched out just a little bit to fit snug and comfortably. So I did some digging on YouTube. Shout out to Donnie B All day. I asked him about it. And shout out to, I can't even remember his name now. I'll come back to that. But he's a friend of Donnie B. Donnie B sold his buddy the same knife. You know what? Out of respect. Yeah, Tinmans Corner. Shout out to Tinmans Corner and Donnie B. Alright, so enough talk about the sheath. Nobody wants to hear about that. This thing is gorgeous. You can see the reflection. I'm using my PlayStation 5 box as a tripod on some furniture. You can see all that reflection. You can even see my phone in this blade. Like that is crazy. This is so stainless steel, it doesn't make any sense. This is like holding a mirror in your hand. Let me start with the handle. For some reason at NobleWares, they had two different versions of this. They looked identical, but one of them was heavier than the other one. I had them both in my hand. And I like this one better because it felt a little heavier. It felt more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But this handle, it feels like a hardwood floor. Let me show you that. Yeah. Alright. Just very, very comfortable. Very easy to wield, I should say. Now you got this piece right here. I like the star designs there and there. Kind of resembles America somehow, some way. But everybody's here to see the blade, man. This thing is just phenomenal. It only costs $120. There was a lesser version of this knife, which was like 108, 110, somewhere in there, but I was like, man, I'll pay a couple extra bucks for the nicer edition. But I really like this, even though it's harder to fit into the sheath. Again, I'm going to do some research on that sheath. But look at how beautiful that is. This point is extremely sharp. The blade also is sharp, but it's not even as sharp as it could be. This thing can be a lot sharper. You know what I'm saying? I got a lamp right here. Look at that. Look at that reflection. Like, this is crazy. Alright. But these are kind of those blades that were used in different wars. This guy, Gil Hibben, he designed different blades that were actually in movies like Rambo, The Expendables, anything with Stallone in it, those guys. Gil Hibben was behind some of that stuff. It's incredible. And this is my first Bowie knife, alright? So bear with me. Now, this will not be the last. That's a fact. It's the first, but it won't be the last. Now, I have swords all over my house, but if somebody were to break into my house, in all honesty, I would probably go for this first. Because it's short length, it's easy to wield, it's light enough, and the enemy really wouldn't see it coming. And it's just a simple stabbing motion. Whereas swords, you can kind of get crazy with a sword. You have to swing it. Or stab also. Whereas this is just straight up, I'll gut you like a fish. And if you're stabbed with this, you're not getting back up. Like, you're in trouble. So I would definitely recommend to have this over just a pocket knife in your house. Because this baby can do a lot more damage than probably more than half of my swords. Yeah. And I told you the part number. But if you want to see, let's see where it says Gil Hibben. Right there, Gil Hibben Designs. Where it says Hibben Knives, Custom Design. I like how the gold stands out from the silver. Man, I just can't believe you can see the reflection so well. You can see the timing of the video and everything. It looks like water. That's crazy. You can see all kinds of stuff in the reflection. It's beautiful. What would I give it? I'd say a 10 out of 10. Even with the sheath, that's kind of tight, kind of small. Because it might come like that. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. But you can't knock the blade for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now, here's the thing about collecting. Let me tell you about collecting. Once you get one of something and you like it, and you really like it, you're going to get a second one. So I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. So let me get some poses down. This would be good to keep, under the bed. Definitely if you have a garage. I would keep one in the garage. And these things are sharp, man. These things can cut all kinds of wood. Shout out to Donnie B. Oh, yeah. I think that's all I got for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll put those guys in my description box. Shout out to them. I'll put NobleWares also in the description box. Their information, their phone number. Because support small business. Who doesn't want to support small business? And you can get some of that stuff online, but it's just not the same when you go online. I like to try my shoes on when I go to the shoe store, right? I like to try some of my clothes on. I want to feel the blade in my hand before I purchase it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? But yeah. Oh yeah. See you in the next video. Peace.